Welcome back to tonight's sad reality, where the only sad reality more sad than the viewer retention is probably honestly going to be my gameplay. What am I going to talk about tonight? Weird dreams. You ever just have a dream that you're like, man, I remember this, and I don't know why I remember this,
Wait, what?
but also
Oh shit.
fantastic. I didn't
Oh
expect
no,
to make that
no,
work.
no, 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 oh fuck, oh fuck, oh god, no, this can't
The
be
most
broke.
spread we'll have on the channel for a while.
Out.
Yeah. Anyways, do you ever have a dream that you're just like, man, this feels oddly like I remember this, but like, it's like weird, a deja vu, you know, that's kind of the entire point of it. It's something you just remember, but you haven't experienced it before, I guess, and okay, no deathless today. I don't know, it's just like, it's happened to me a few times, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, it's kind of weird, you know, that we had this sensation of something that's never happened to us before, but we can, like, oddly, I'm not sure reminisce is the right word, but oddly, like, feel some sort of tie to it. Nice. Not quite. Oh well. Who needs secrets? Secrets, schmeekrets. So I have coworkers at work, right? And sometimes they're just like, oh yeah, I had like a dream about you or something. And I'm like, really? That's crazy. It feels like that's not the first or last, probably. This game's like so sensitive. I forgot how like there's a thing down here. There's just okay. Well, now I know there's a block down there. That's funny. But yeah, like stuff just happens like that, and we don't know why. Random dreams about stuff that you feel like you remember, people that you barely even know, and you're dreaming about them already. Any reason for it? Usually not anything more than just relative importance. I've noticed that a lot of people kind of stand out to them, like, internally, I guess. Whether it's just, like, different behaviors or leaving some sort of mark in some way, memory, and people just remember it, I guess, and it comes up in their dreams. I don't really dream about people. Usually I dream about myself, and then, I don't know, narcissism or something. I kind of like the same when, you know, dying in weird ways. Like being like a covert op in some place, and some crazy mission, and getting stuck doing that, dying or something. Or when I was really younger, I remember playing this Lego Star Wars, and there's like that one lava scene where like one of the characters die, and I had myself like pictured in that, and I was like terrified. It was like a nightmare. It's really dumb, but just like something I remember. And there's one book I read that I really liked, and it was, I believe, The Roar and the Whisper were the names of the books. I would definitely recommend reading it if you're ever bored and you like something like dystopian, sci-fi, fantasy kind of. I'm not getting any secrets, just everything down there. Not. It's still doable. Oh yeah, it's still jumpable. And I remember dreaming about that multiple times, where like I just like had wings or could like fly or something. I'm like, that's a bit of a cool thought. Be more patient. So, it's just weird, you know, like stuff like that comes up again. But, like some things feel brand new, some things don't quite feel brand new, others feel old, and you know, pay attention here. Others feel old, too, like you've been there before, but you haven't. I feel like it's the same thing with, like, beginner's luck in a way, where it's just like you shouldn't be good at something that you are, and it feels like you are able to do it for some reason that you don't quite fully understand. Ooh, barely made that. Yeah, I wonder how people do this deathless. Like, this game is insanely tough. I mean, to be fair, I haven't played like any of these games in a hot minute, so I guess it's kind of warranted. What is the best way to do this? That's real, I think. I should have waited a little bit more. This is the part of the video where I struggle, but to be fair, it is a very difficult platformer. I could have just done that the whole time. And then wait a little too long. Fantastic. But yeah, it's always funny, because I feel like there are dreams that you have for, like, years, or, like, a continuation of it almost. I don't know if anyone else has this feeling, but, like, you know you're supposed to be somewhere doing this thing, even if it feels weird at first. Like, when I got out of college, I was like, I mean, sure, stuff sucks, and, like, work, and, you know, people and customers and stuff, that sucks sometimes. But, I don't know, just, like, it feels right, and, I mean, it also goes so far as to say, like, everything I've experienced since then, it definitely feels like the right way forward, even if it seems like 2 steps backwards. So, and I can't explain that. Even just, like, sitting at my computer and feeling like I could have seen this from, like, a third-person perspective. Maybe that's, like, a weird thought to have, but, I don't know if that's, like, a normal thing, like, developing schizophrenia in your 20s or something. I think that's when most people get it. I took a psychology class one time, so that makes me an expert now. Oh, this one's tough. Looks like I'm going for that secret. I'm not, but if I get it accidentally, I will say yes to it. I'm gonna mess up. Dang, it's so hard to talk about stuff with this. It seems to require so much focus. Anyways, I was gonna talk about Déjà Vu for a second, like what that actually is. It's the feeling that you've been there when you haven't, and there's more to it than just that. It's like a dream from memory, even if it's a memory you've never had. There's a few words for this that I'm forgetting, because guess what, it's also 2 in the morning. Mr. records his videos on time, is doing that perfectly, flawlessly even. And, what are those words? Memories you've had. Oh, we got this? Not quite, dang. Trying to focus and talk at the same time, so... I'm just gonna sit here and talk for a second. Also, I'm guessing the bitrate's dying as well, the rain in the background's probably not helping that. So, dreams you have from memory, even though you've never made that, there are such things as memories that you don't actually have, but they're, like, put there. You know, like the whole, I don't know if Mandela effect's the word for it, but it's like remembering something that didn't actually happen. There's a few reasons for this to happen. One is, like, emotional stimuli, something really bothers you, and therefore you're much more likely to remember it, and it becomes really vivid, but then also the emotions kind of twist to distort that memory. If you've ever heard the song Memory Merge by Yonka Gore, that's kind of what it's talking about, I think, is, not being able to fully remember twisted events in the past. Ah, so close. And it's like, kind of like piecing things together or stitching them together in ways that didn't actually happen. Which I think is a bit of a weird, like, experience, feeling. Oh, finally got that, jeez. For the hardest game of the year. By game of the year, I mean this game came out like 8 bajillion years ago, I think. Can I wait this up? I guess a no. Let's throw something up here. Secret, maybe? Anyways, I'm just gonna keep talking for the rest of this because this game is so hard to play. Sometimes it's not the dream, but like the emotion tied to it is actually what's familiar or what you're feeling. And it's really easy to get that twisted too, thinking things are the right way forward when they're not, just because it's something you've seen before. But that doesn't always mean it is correct, right, or even something that's happened before. It's really easy for stuff to seem a little bit confusing and familiar when it's not. And why do I talk about this? Well, it's really interesting to me watching people that are younger than me go through the same struggles that I've experienced once before. It's like, oh, he's a little dead, I think, just spazzing out. When I say that, usually it's like a function of social interactions, so people meeting people that are not great and then having stuff happen. I'm like, man, I went through that when I was some age or another age or something. Ooh, that works. Okay. Me and my one collectible. It's me versus the world. My one tumor friend. I guess you gotta, like, hold the corner there. Focusing. Again, so much props to, like, speedrunners who can talk while doing this stuff, because to me this is so hard to do. But it's a skill hopefully I'll be getting slightly better at over time. It'll take a lot of time, probably like a year at most at least. There we go, which was time to jump on, right? Or is it you hold it? Yeah, I think it's you hold it. You fall into the pit at the beginning of the level. Smash your head on the cavern at the top. That's like Celeste, where sometimes you try to step away from it for like a second or two and be like, okay, calm down, chillax, be a normal human being, and don't like overthink it, step away, get your hands not as sweaty, and come back to it. But sometimes it's comforting knowing that people go through the same things I do. Sometimes it's scary, and just looking at the world and being like, man, it sucks, you know? But it always kind of makes you wonder what we did forget or what we didn't learn in those things. And sometimes I think it's interesting too. I was watching, guess what, more Veritasium videos today, and it was talking about how, like, one was like the expert myth. Expert myth? People aren't as good at things as they actually think they are for one reason or another, and it has to do with, I think, hitting 4 different qualifications as to what would make you an expert, and the one that kept getting brought up was chess. So the idea simply being, oh hey, chess experts are really good at this game because they've played a lot, they've tested themselves, they pushed themselves to the absolute limit. And I'm gonna chill again for a second here, the game's getting a little bit harder. But sometimes too you even dream about those things, and that's how you kind of process it. I remember playing some games that I really enjoyed and like dreaming about them, and they were really hard games that just be on your mind, and I think that's some subconscious level of processing stuff. Also, I had written down here, it's interesting if dreams weren't showing us the future, but just the past in some funky sort of disguise, which I believe would honestly be possible, but it's always another question, I suppose. Yeah, oh, that was not the way to do it. Life's full of those moments, though. I mean, we're creatures of pattern as people, humans. And that's, I guess, welcome to working 9 to 5 every day or something. Some insert joke about retail. Dreams remind you that you've been there before, not literally, but in some capacity of just, oh hey, I've experienced this, I've seen this. Because it's really hard to fabricate something from nothing. Usually it's things that you understand and can comprehend. But if it wasn't, then I'd be really curious to do a psychological study on that, I suppose. Don't sneeze. One of those things, too, where sometimes you dream to remember the parts of yourself that you feel like you lost this, and you're just like, man, I lost my temper, I lost my sanity, I lost whatever. And I don't know if people have ever had dreams like that, where they just, like, go on a spree doing awful things, or something like that. Maybe that's a bit of an admission of subconscious there. But I'm always curious why stuff like that manifests. People believe that dreams have meaning. I don't really dream that often, but usually it's more scary things than it is good things. Like, here's another random one, I just remember this one. I didn't have this one written down either, but I remember sitting in my bed in college, so it's like one of those bunk beds, kind of, but not really a bunk bed. It's just like you can move it up and down the bed so you can store stuff underneath it. So it's at the very top, and I remember having a dream that was like, I don't know if lucid dream's the right word, or like, you're stuck in the middle of, like you're in the same room that you're in while you're asleep. I remember like, it was like a surgery going on in that same bed, and I had a glass bottle put in my leg, and I'm like, well, what does this mean? That I woke up, my leg was hurting, I was sweating. Just random, I don't know why. Personally though, I don't believe dreams have meaning. I think, again, there's something to everything, but I don't really put too much credit in that. So, Déjà Vu stuff echoes, and echoes don't exactly come from nowhere, but maybe it's not something we should ignore either. I don't know. But I thought it'd be interesting to make this like a conversation of sorts where people put down in the comments if you have any thoughts on this or any experience with it. But at the rate of 0 views per video, it's peak content, right, with this bitrate and recording quality. So I don't know. I usually am pretty attentive to that stuff though, so feel free to drop stuff down and I'll try to respond to it. Because again, a little bit of background psychology, I don't know, but I'm always down to talk about stuff like that. Because I find it very interesting at the very least. And maybe it'll make the reality that we live in not so sad and a little bit more lively, thoughtful, perhaps. So this is a bit of a cliche. It was the idea that having a conversation like this has already happened before, so that this being deja vu, if you feel like you've had a conversation like this, but that's a little bit too meta. Anyways, it's almost 2 in the morning, I'm gonna wake up in 5 hours for more work. I'll be going on vacation in a week, so I'll be probably pre-recording a few videos here to keep the streak alive for at least a year is the goal, even if this has 0 popularity whatsoever. I'm just curious what'll happen with it. So, thanks for watching. Hope this has been not too sad of a reality, but have the rest of your nights good, rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, lunch, evening, breakfast, supper, dinner, whatever. Have a good one, y'all.